Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Brian is about to begin deshelling the lobsters, preparing them for us to devour them this evening.
2.2, 2.2.
First, he removes the rubber bands from the claws, or not.
Or not.
Okay, he is separating the leg/claw from the main body of the lobster. Now he was removing the rubber band from the claw.
Since she wants that, she gets it.
Okay, we're going to leave the camera here for a minute while we go and search of the trash can so that Brian can have a place to put the pieces of lobster that he is no longer eating.
Very important part. I don't know. So, cutting through the back tail.
Okay, as he cuts through the back tail, he's basically splitting the shell so that it will make a presentation possible. He removes the head and discards it. Now he is draining the liquid out of the tail.
Yeah, well, female lobsters are nice.
Okay. The orange inside the lobster indicates that it is a female with eggs. Okay, now he is attempting to,
Attempting? No, there's no
excuse
attempting.
me,
We are.
he is opening the joints to allow access to the meat. Now the big claw. This takes not only a sharp knife, but some brute strength as well. Claw meat is some of the most succulent on the lobster, so it's important to try to preserve it in as pristine condition as possible. As you can see, this lobster has fairly large claws and has a definitely hard shell. Okay.
And that is it for
The first lobster.
Michelle's lobster.
First lobster is ready to eat.
Brian's lobster.
Now we're going to work on Brian's lobster. Brian is removing the claws. Now removing the bands on the claws. The bands are put on the claws so that the lobsters can't hurt each other or the person trying to fish them out of the lobster tanks. Once they're cooked, obviously the lobster can no longer use his claws. Zoom in and get a close-up of this tail splitting activity this time. Okay, removal of the head.
Got a male lobster.
This one's a male. So very nice. Tonight we've had one male, one female. Interesting that the female is for me and the male is for Brian. Okay, he is now splitting the tail on the lobster.
I mistakenly spoke too early. This is a female.
Okay, so we have two females tonight.
I probably tell the difference between them at times, but not always.
Okay, he is now attempting to remove the orange eggs.
Well, he is.
We also basically devein the lobster. If it isn't deveined in this step, it usually is deveined in the prior to eating. If you hear a slight beeping in the background, that's letting us know that our drawn butter is ready. Notice once again the amount of water in some of these pieces that Brian tries to drain before actually leaving on the tray for presentation purposes. This shell seems slightly harder, at least on the claws, than the previous lobster. But since not all lobsters shed their shells at the same time, not all lobsters have equally hard shells.
Time for a bigger gun. Well, 6 nights here in Bahaba. Lobster dinner 6 nights. If I leave after the end of 6 days with all my fingers intact, it may be a miracle.
Okay, now
The juice is good when you let the meat float on the juice and get a little extra frothy flavor. Don't use quite so much butter. Voila.
2 lobsters in presentation fashion, ready for consumption. Any last words you'd like to say to our audience tonight, Chef Brian?
Oh, let me, share lobster for her. Come to Bahaba, eat lobster. Words of wisdom.